As I was saying in my previous video, should you have watched it, many didn't. So as I said, I was going to do a series on consoles that broke boundaries. As this series is going to be called, Boundary Breakers. So we start with the 8-bit era. Starting off with the Master System. Hey, you thought I was going to go all Nintendo there, didn't you? I was until like 3 seconds ago. But I thought, no. So this series, or this set of videos, is basically we're going to talk about consoles which broke boundaries. Like I said, let's dig deeper and let's see what's inside the console and see what made it tick and what, like I said, pushed boundaries on this system, and did it actually perform as well as it could have done. So back when 8-bit consoles were a thing, right, Sega thought, I'll have a piece of this pie. So in competition with Nintendo's mighty juggernaut system that was, or that is at the time, they brought out this, the Sega Master System. Now, during the period, circa 86, 87, at the time of release, it wasn't the warmest receptions of consoles. As the British public warmed to this console, then obviously sales begin to increase. Obviously. Well, obviously! Prong! So, you've got all the big boys on board. You've got Konami, Taito, at the time. I don't think, obviously Sega. Hudson. You've got a lot of the big developers making games for this system, and they were also trying to do arcade ports. There was Strider, there was Golden Axe, there was Splatterhouse, all the classic arcades they tried to port to the Master System, which obviously they had to really compact and dumb down, but with success. Now, Street Fighter 2 was visually a stunning piece on the Master System. They crammed as much as they could in as what they did on the Super Nintendo. Graphically, it was really good. The backgrounds didn't stand up to much, but they did cram in all the detail on the character sprites. Not to mention, it's one of the biggest carts on the Master System at 8 megabytes. Yes, a whopping 8 megabytes. Not to mention the soundtrack isn't up to much, but like I say, visually it's an amazing feat on the system. Plus there is audio. Yes, when I say audio, I mean voices, character voices of the announcer, not of the in-game character, but there is speech on this game, which also is an amazing feat. Should they have lost the speech, they probably would have fit more on this game. Sega and all the other developers didn't really see it as a problem. Obviously, they had utmost confidence in bringing all these games to the Master System format, along with the other big companies that were out there. Oh, Namco, Konami, which I think I said Konami. Ghouls and Ghosts. Well, okay, it's not extremely unfaithful. It's still Ghouls and Ghosts in most ways, which is pretty incredible for an 8-bit port of an arcade game, especially considering that Sega made it and not Capcom. It still looks pretty much the same, if a bit watered down, if I do say so. And most of the levels are still there. Jumping, throwing javelins is still accurate to the arcade and the Genesis version, without the double jump found in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Of course. Sega's Sega Master System port diverges from the original in ways that it didn't have to. For example, the weapons in every other game. Arthur is constantly switching from javelin to dagger and torch, and various other stuff that's out there. Some spells emulate the magic enhanced weapon functions in the other games, but no weapon swaps. It's an artifact
of the biggest change in the game of the treasure chest system. Like every other version, chests constantly pop up out of the ground, and if you backtrack and jump up and down on the random spots and trigger their appearance, unfortunately, in this game, about 90% of the treasure chests contain magicians. These guys are a huge bunch of jerks, turning Arthur into a duck or an old man, pretty much guaranteeing death or armor loss, but the payoff for the remaining 10% is almost worth the risk. When a chest doesn't reveal a magician, it reveals a door inside. You're given the option to upgrade your helmet, armour or boots, and the other increases Arthur's life. Now the boots increase the speed, jump, and the helmet actually gives Arthur access to spells that range from the upgraded weapons from other games to armour healing, special attacks. In theory it's really cool, but in practice, oh my god, it's another magician. But overall, for the Master System and the time, it's a visually stunning piece. It plays absolutely as sweet as a nut. It's flawless. And for this, it's one of the games that really pushes the boundaries of the system, in my opinion.
The Master System was released in Japan in 1985, North America 86, Japan and Europe in 87, and this gets better, Brazil and Korea in 1989. Now the lifespan of the console continued way up to quite recently, actually. So the lifespan of the console was from 1985, believe it or not, up to present. Yeah, seems a bit odd. But then in North America it was 92, which obviously that sees the production of games and consoles. Now worldwide, 13 million units were sold worldwide. That's not including Brazil, and there's a reason for that. Because as of 2016, Brazil had sold 8 million units and counting. That was in 2016. Bizarre. Biggest selling console in Brazil. So the internal chipset on the Master System is as follows. So I'm just reading here from what I've got. So the media was obviously a ROM cartridge, or the CAD, obviously on the Model 1, which, as you can see, went in the front there. So the CAD or the cartridge. Not to mention this port at the back. You can just see a ribbon band. You know, the basically the cartridge slot. Obviously that was for an upgrade. But that's something else to talk about. So the CPU processor was a Zilog Z80A 4 MHz processor. The memory was 8 kilobytes of RAM and 16 kilobytes of virtual RAM. It ran a display of 256 by 192. The resolution of 32 colours on screen at any one time. Wow. The graphics chip was a Yamaha YM2602B VDP. Now if you want to check that, I'm sure if you go on Google it'll give you a whole list of these chips. And they're probably still in production somewhere along the line. The sound chip was a Yamaha VDP. PSG SN76489 Yamaha. It's a long one, it's a mouthful. It was also backwards compatible with an SG1000. I don't know what this means, whether it's a cartridge that actually fits into the unit as opposed to a Master System game, but it does state that it was backwards compatible. I mean, it was far ahead of its time anyway, because they tried to do the 3D glasses thing. Obviously it had the light gun, but they envisioned future technology which incorporated the 3D glasses, which basically, I do believe how it worked, it reflected an image on the inside and it gave it that feeling of forced 3D effect. It wasn't full 3D, but they tried. I mean, I can't fault them on that. They tried, and this is before Nintendo did it, obviously with the Virtual Boy, but they tried. I cannot fault them for tip my hat. I doff it. But as for pushing boundaries, like I said, I mean, that's one of them, the 3D side of things. It failed. Yes, there wasn't many games that was produced for the 3D glasses. I think there was 2 at the most, possibly 3 games made for the 3D glasses. But still an amazing feat for the Master System. And at the time, I mean, technology has moved forward a long way since then, but it's a massive achievement. And like I say, I tip my hat. But you got to think, that was 1986 circa, and then onwards. But to think that the Master System is still being produced to this day, I'm not sure if it is. But yeah, what a fantastic lifespan that this system's had. It hasn't really pushed boundaries as such, like I said in the videos. I forgot to mention Capcom, but they didn't actually make Ghouls and Ghosts. It was Sega. It was licensed by Sega. But yeah, I mean, it was a great system. It had some fantastic games. It was just let down, personally, I think, by the company Sega. I don't think they pushed it and gave it enough credit that what it was due. I know the NES had a far superior lineup. The bigwigs at these big corporate companies like Sega, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, they're the ones that say, yeah, you can make this on our system, or no. So I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of the games didn't come across onto the Master System format. I think it was something to do with an exclusivity that Nintendo basically got the rights over, but they got one up them on that sense. And again, fair play, they got in there first. And like I say, Sega weren't exactly the front runners of the gaming forefront back in the day. Nintendo were. They got the feet under the carpet and they knew what they were doing. They really did. They had been at it 100 or so years, so you know. But excuse me. Yeah, I mean, what more can I say about this fantastic little piece of kit? And it is a fantastic piece of kit. The card slot at the front, it was a great idea. More like the PC Engine sort of card slot. Never really took off. Whether it was due to manufacturing reasons, I couldn't say. I really couldn't say. But it pushed boundaries in ways that no other console did. Tried to port Sega's arcade classics onto a system that at the time wasn't capable of doing it, but they tried their damnedest, and I think they did a bloody good job. What more can I say? Apart from, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you do like my content, this is my first in the series of Boundary Breakers. It's going to be a long haul process doing these because it's new to me as well. Finding all the information out, doing the research, reading off a phone, going Zilog. I have no idea what that means or what chip is that. I don't know. I have to do research and search below and go on Google and all that crap. I don't know. Anyhow, but yeah, I'm finding it interesting looking into the deeper side of the console. What's the word? The workings, the gubbins, the innards, the meat and veg. Yeah, of the console. But yes, I hope you've liked this video. I hope it's informed you in some way or not, because it's cobbled together in such a way that it makes no sense. But if that's the case, then please like and subscribe as always. But yeah, click the little bell in the corner. I don't know which way it is. I'll get it wrong one of these. I'll get it right one of these. Is it that way? Or is it that way? Please tell. But thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, then please subscribe. What more can I say? And love life and keep gaming. Don't forget to watch out for the next video in this series coming soon. Alright.
Yeah.